So I just finished the Suicide Squad directed by James Gunn, and we're going to talk about that in a spoiler-free review. But if you're new here, I'm Kevin, and here we talk about all things movie and TV related, whether it be news, reviews, anything in between. So if that kind of stuff interests you, consider hitting that subscribe button and bell notification so you know when the new videos drop. Now, the Suicide Squad directed by James Gunn. Now, James Gunn also directed the Guardians of the Galaxy. And immediately you get that feel. That Guardians of the Galaxy feel where you got lots of action mixed with a lot of comedy. But instead of with superheroes, you have super villains. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Suicide Squad, it is a bunch of supervillains that were imprisoned in Argus, which is a maximum security prison, and forcibly made to work together to accomplish a mission in order to take time off their sentence. Now, there was a 2016 version of the Suicide Squad, and some are saying this is a sequel. Others are saying this is kind of a standalone movie, and after watching it, I kind of agree with the standalone movie aspect. If you didn't see the first one, you're not missing anything. That one just kind of lays the groundwork for what this one is, and honestly, I feel this new one is what the first should have been. Now, this one is rated R. It's got tons of blood, gore, fighting, cursing, everything you want in an action comedy, and it delivers it so well. After sitting down for a few minutes, I enjoyed this movie more than I think I should have, which is kind of weird. I expected to like it, but not as much as I did. Now, my wife watched it with me, and honestly, she wasn't a big fan of it. It's very comic booky, so if you're not into that comic book feel, then you're not going to really like this movie. The casting in this movie is perfect. I still say that Harley Quinn carries this movie. She does so well. Margot Robbie is phenomenal in this role. I start to wonder, is she that good of an actress to play a psycho killer with the comedic side, or is she slightly psycho in real life? But we also have other big names like Idris Elba, John Cena, Sylvester Stallone plays King Shark, but I'll come right out and say you shouldn't get too attached to any one of these characters because at any time, it's very action-packed. They don't pull any punches. And that's another thing that I liked about this. It jumped right into the action. There's no huge story build-up. And that's one thing I love about a movie is one that can tell a story while in the middle of all the action. And this one does that perfectly. Now, Idris Elba's character, Bloodsport, is the only one who's actually in this mission for a different reason. Everyone else is in it to try to take time off their sentence, and his reasoning is to keep his daughter out of prison. So his agenda is different, so I think his approach to the mission is a little more sentimental, it's a little more emotional, where everyone else is just kind of in it for themselves. Now, Bloodsport's an incredible marksman and assassin who never misses a shot, as is John Cena's character, Peacemaker. So these two are always in competition, so I love the banter and competition between them. It's comedic, it's yet competitive, and these two kind of like butt heads throughout the entire thing, trying to prove who is better than who. And that kind of chemistry is what really kind of makes this movie great. Then we have characters like Polka Dot Man. Now this guy, I'm originally thinking, what could possibly be interesting about a Polka Dot Man? But then I come to find out he's one of the characters that I end up liking more than I ever thought I would. Like, this is a guy I would be completely fine with not even being in the movie, but then after seeing it, you're like, okay, this guy had to be in here. He definitely made the movie good. So he is an unexpected welcome to this film. I really enjoyed his character way more than I thought I would. He plays a rather big role in all of this, as is King Shark, who is played by Sylvester Stallone. This one's just a completely comedic role to me. He's the muscle with no brains. Overall, I felt this movie to be like a guilty pleasure. It's not one you're going to take seriously, but it's one that you can sit down and enjoy and kind of feel childish about, if that makes sense. Because you get the action, you get the comedy, you get the blood and gore, but you also get that comic book feel. So it's hard to explain other than a guilty pleasure for adults. It's bubbly, it's comic booky, it's quirky, it's bloody, it's gory, and it's funny. It's kind of a weird mixture. So if you're into all that stuff, I think you're going to enjoy the movie. But if you're looking for any kind of seriousness or comic book stuff like the Avengers, then you're not going to enjoy it. But if you've already seen it or you have your own inputs, please, I want to hear them down in the comments below. What did you think of the Suicide Squad? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it what you were expecting? Make sure you drop a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll catch you at the concession stands.